Welcome to qiphyedu. Today we're looking at computer science A2 level, paper 41, October-November 2021. All right, let's start. So let's look at the first question. It says, study the following pseudocode for recursive function. And we have the code here. This is the pseudocode. The operator div returns the integer value after division. For example, 13 divided by 2 would give 6. Write program code to declare the function unknown. So let's open up Visual Studio. Okay, so then we're just going to create a new project. Then here, scroll down until we find console app.NET frameworks. Click on that. And then change the project name to whatever you can remember. So it's Stanford 9618. Sorry, W21. QP41. Right. And let's initialize the IDE. Okay, so now let's declare the function unknown. So we're just gonna go to line 2 outside the main program. So here this function unknown and variable x as integer, and then variable y as integer. Okay, and then here is convert this to VB. So if x is less than y, then sorry, it's funny to change the symbol. So if x is less than y, then console dot write line x plus y, and then return. This one is a recursive function, so we're just gonna loop back into the function. So let's put unknown. And this one is x plus 1, and then comma y multiplied by 2, and then else if x, or let's just use else if, which is the same thing. Else if x equals to y, then return 1. And then else console.writeLine plus y, and then we return unknown x minus 1, unknown x minus 1 comma y, and divide here we use the slash symbol, so /2, and then we put n if, and then n if. Right, so here there's only one if statement, so just remove the second and if, so something like this. So we're done with this function, so let's just look through and see if it's correct. So function unknown by variable x as integer, by variable y as integer. If x less than y, then console write x plus y, return unknown x plus 1, y multiply 2. Else if x equals to 1, as x equals to y, then return 1. Else output x plus y, console write x plus y, return unknown x minus 1 comma y divided by 2, and if and function. Okay, so let's just copy and paste this into our evidence.doc. I'm just gonna have to open up my evidence.doc here. Okay, it'll take some time to open. Right, so let's paste it here. Okay, now let's move on to B. The main program needs to run all 3 of the following function calls and output the result each call. So for each of the 3 function calls, the main program needs to output the value of the 2 parameters, call the function with those parameters, and output the return value. Okay, so output the value of the 2 parameters. So what we do is console.writeLine, and then here is we need to output the value, so it's comma 1015, and then call the function. So call function here, so 1015 return as integer equals to the function, equals unknown, and then big 10 and 15. I just made a mistake here. We don't exactly need to declare value as integer. What you need to do, if we just think, we just need to console or write line the outcome from unknown 1010. So same words for this one, console write line as well. But besides this being console write line, we also need to convert the value inside here into strings. So like so, we change it to string. Same for this one. Convert. And then this is 1510, so let's move it to 1510. And then console.write line string unknown 1510. Okay, so yep, that's it for PYP. So let's just copy and paste this into the document. Okay, we'll take a screenshot to show output from part B1. Okay, let's just start the program, see if that works. Okay, I made a mistake as well. The submain here, you need to add console.readLine. If not, it will not show the output without closing the program. So console.readLine. So I'll start again. So this is how we should show the program. Okay, so here we have output. Let's see if the output is the output that we want. So 10, 15, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 32, 10, 10, 1, 15, 10, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. But here you see we have dot 0, 3, 1, 2, 5. So here what we do is we realize that actually here we are using by value. When we return the value, we don't return it as an integer, but we return it as round. Return it as real. So we need to change this into return integer. So same goes for this one. So you'll change it to something like this. Okay, let's run the program again, see if that works. So the answer is yes, it works. So now we just need to screenshot this and then put it into our document. Right, so then we put it into Word. Then we crop it. Okay, crop it. Let's make it smaller. Okay, let's make it larger. Okay, and now it's part 1C. We write the function unknown as an iterative function, iterative unknown. Okay, so rewrite the function. So let's just write another function on the bottom here. So function iterative unknown, and then same thing again. We just need to this time we also need to variable x and variable y. Okay, and then here, because it's an iterative function, so we use the while loop. So but before we actually, sorry, I made a mistake here. Variable y. So before we continue, we need to declare a variable. So let's declare total as integer equals to 1. Because if you look at the iterative, the recursive function, if let's say because now what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make the values the same. So you can see here, if let's say x equals to y, then it returns 1. Therefore, if let's say the value here actually equals to 1, then you just immediately return total equals to 1. So here, the while loop here, what we'll do is if let's say total, if x does not equal to y, then only then you will output a different value than 1. So if while x does not equal to y, we need to console the right line x plus y, which is what which we have done here. Console the right line. So regardless of it being x less than y or x more than y, we need to control the right line. So here we do x plus y. And then, because now we're not using recursive function, we need to use a different function. So here, if let's say x is less than y, then here what we need to do is we take because here you see our unknown here is x plus 1, so we do the same here, which is x plus equals to 1 or x equals x plus 1. And then we do here is we do total up by actually taking the total, and then we multiply by 2. So this will be total multiply equals to 2. Else x minus equals to 1, which is what we done here, x minus 1. Then total would be divided equals 2. Alright, so it's the same thing here compared to up the one on top. That one is actually iterative. Recursive, the is iterative. Right, so as you can see here, if let's say we haven't finished it yet, so under the while loop we need to return our total. Okay, let's see here, if let's say x equals to 1, y, then you'll return 1. So here, if let's say x equals to y, you immediately jump to return total. So if let's say x does not equal to y, so you will console right line for both of these. So if let's say x is less than y, then x equals x plus 1. Same thing here, which is unknown x plus 1 and y. And then you multiply by 2, all right? And then if let's say if it's like more than y, then x would be x minus 1, and then total will be divided by 2, which is exactly what it's doing here. Okay, so this loop will go on and go on until basically when we'll go on until x equals to y. So now we just need to copy and paste this into our evidence document. Okay, and then let's move on. B1, the iterative function needs to be called 3 times with the same parameters as in part B. For each of the 3 function calls, the main program needs to output the value of the 2 parameters. How the iterative function with those parameters and output the return value. We need to amend the main program. So what we do here is we amend the main program. So change this to string iterative unknown. Same goes for the next few paragraphs. Okay, copy and paste this again to 1D1. Okay, and then 1D2, take one or more screenshots and show the output of both functions for each set of parameters. Okay, so we'll output both functions of each set of parameters. So, okay, so let's try from start. So this will be the output. So you get 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 32, 10, 10 you get 1, 15, 10 you get 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, and 0. So it's basically the same thing, right? So just screenshot this thing and then put it back into a Word document here. Right, so let's just copy it a bit, make it become smaller. Okay, so essentially what you can see here, let's say if it's 10 and 15, so I did it for unknown 10 and 15. So because 10 does not equal to 15, so 10 plus 15 will get 25, so it's really outputted like that. And then if 10 is less than 15, which it is, then 10 plus 1 equals to 11, and then 1 times 2. So then it will move on, and then it will become 11 plus 15, so it become 26. So it will become until 28, 29. And then if it's 29, that will be 14, and then it will be 15. So 14, 15. 14 is still less than 15. Then 14 with the plus 1, then total will multiply by 2 again. So so it becomes 14, 15, and then it becomes 15, 15. So if let's say it's 15, 15, then it's equals, and then it will return total. So you can see here multiply. Basically like 1 times 2, 2 times 2 will be 4, 4 times 2 will be 8, 8 times 2, 16, and 8 times 2 will be, 8 times 2, 16, and 16 times 2 is 32. So it depends on the number of times it repeats, and then it will give you the total like that. But then if it's 10, 10, then immediately you will return 1. So yeah, that's why there's 1. And then 15, 10, 25, 24, 23, because 15 is more than 10, so it's more than y, so it will just minus, 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 minus until x and y is the same, and then it will just give you basically 0 when you actually divide it. So that's how these two screenshots here, why they look like this is because of this, right? So this is the end of Computer Science paper 41, October, November 2021, question 1. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. Do share this video out with other people who may need help with Computer Science paper 4. As always, I hope to see you guys again in the next video. Till then, this is qiphyedu. Goodbye.